Women are not machines, but many have been trained to operate like one, conditioned to function in a state of constant, relentless motion. The schedule operates as a closed loop. Wake up, work, serve, smile, clean, worry, sleep late, repeat. We often treat this sequence as a standard daily routine. However, the structure mirrors the behavioral programming designed for an industrial engine rather than a human rhythm. Maintaining this checklist requires the constant suppression of physiological needs. Over time, the individual fades, leaving behind an efficient operational appliance. Society observes this mechanical burnout, relies on the output, and labels it being strong. In reality, this specific brand of strength is usually chronic physical exhaustion, masked by polite compliance and good manners. This data visualization of an input-output flow highlights a mathematical impossibility. When the internal reserve drops to absolute zero, the high volume of love, care, and patience flowing outward eventually hits a hard limit. You cannot pour from an empty soul. Ending this cycle starts with rejecting the praise. The mechanical loop is a psychological trap rather than a moral triumph. When the machine inevitably slows down, the immediate internal reaction is guilt, a feeling of personal inadequacy or failure. That heavy, unmotivated feeling is the physical manifestation of severe biological depletion. The mental fog and fragility indicate the mind has reached a state of critical cognitive overload. Sudden emotional reactions are the compounding consequence of carrying excessive psychological burdens for too long. These signals constitute a healthy biological alarm system, responding to an unsustainable lifestyle. To counter this, the 888 rule acts as a structural boundary framework to help reclaim personal time. In this 24-hour area chart, the first block allocates 8 hours strictly to resting. The second block reserves 8 hours for external output, work, and daily logistics. The final 8 hours are non-negotiable, reserved for existing simply as a human being. Establishing these mathematical boundaries provides a defensive structure against the constant demands of the operational loop. When these boundaries are enforced, internal pressure begins to subside. Love and patience finally have the space to accumulate before they are shared with others. Sustainable resilience requires intentional rest. The old machine paradigm ignores the fact that every system requires a period of downtime to remain functional. True strength is the radical, intentional act of enforcing boundaries against the constant pressure to perform. Choosing to claim your own time is the only way to address the exhaustion that society expects you to hide. Reclaiming that time starts with a single microstep. You must stop all current momentum for a deliberate 1-minute pause. In this moment of stillness, ask yourself one question. What do I need most right now? Identify which of these three is the current priority: sleep, rest, or me. Naming that need is a rejection of the machine mindset. It is the first step toward the reclamation of the human soul.